Hello, welcome. It's the News Super Review here on Top TV. My name is William Sabile, and I'm really happy to have you join me here this morning. This is where we bring you the newspaper headlines across newspapers in Nigeria, and we would love you to be a part of this by dropping your comments and your reactions. We'd like to know what you think about these headlines on the comment section. But for you to be able to do that, you need to first subscribe to this channel, and of course, click in your notification key to always get notified whenever we come up with a fresh episode of this program. We're also on social media and on Facebook, we're at Thav TV. On Instagram, we're at Thav TV_NG. On Twitter is at Thav TV. So do well to follow us on this channel so that we get to hear your reactions and we get to know what you think about these headlines. This morning, let's go straight to reading the headlines and have you join us as we do this. Thank you very much for staying with us. Thank you for staying with us. We begin with this day newspaper for today, the 18th day of February 2022. And the headliner here on this day newspaper says, 365 days to presidential election. The aspirants are emerging. We see pictures of those who have declared. We see that of Tinubu, Pius, Iron Pius, Governor Omayi, and that of popular Ovation magazine publisher, that is Daily Momodu, and of course the lady presidential aspirant. And we also see some of those who are yet to declare. We see the present VP, Osibanjo, we see Atiku there, we see Emefiele, that's the CBN governor, and then we see Saraki, former Senate president. And then lastly, there's the picture of the current Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi. Other headlines here on this day newspaper is at the top part, we see at 3.40% in 2021, Nigeria's economy recorded highest GDP growth in 8 years. I'll take that again. It says at 3.40% in 2021, Nigeria's economy recorded highest GDP growth in 8 years. That seemed to be a very positive news right there. It's a good thing to share. And then we take this one lastly. It says, federal government moves to meet ASU's demand, constitutes white paper committee. So all of that is on this day newspaper. So do well to pick a copy of that paper and read up details of that story. Next, we go to the Vanguard newspaper here, and the headliner here says, cocaine saga, NDLEA seeks court order to extend Kyari's detention. NDLEA seeks court order to extend Kyari's detention. Wants to verify his estates in Lagos, Abuja. And then PSC suspends 2 Kyari's men, directs IGP to suspend 2 inspectors. All of that story is on page 4 of the Vanguard newspaper. Other stories here on the Vanguard, we see fuel scarcity, federal government, marketers, others disagree. And that story is on page 26 of the Vanguard newspaper. And then we see here too, on the Vanguard, we see on the top part, we see Osun governor fight. The die is cast for Oyetola Aregbesola. And then lastly, I take this one at the bottom part of the Vanguard newspaper. It says, APC convention, confusion over zoning of party offices. Governors divided. Okay, next we go to News Direct newspaper for today, the 18th day of February 2022. And the headliner here on News Direct says, NARTO, NUPENG, PTD suspends proposed industrial action as NNPC intervenes. Parties pledge to ensure nationwide availability of petroleum products, to review freight rates for transporters. All of that story is on page 3 of News Direct. Other stories here on News Direct newspapers, we see this one. It says, fuel, don't create artificial scarcity. Akeredolu warns marketers. Don't create artificial scarcity. Akeredolu warns marketers. Then we see also here, we see civilian harassment. Reps consider body-worn cameras for security agents. civilian harassment. Reps consider body-worn cameras for security agents. Okay, so that's all the story on the stories we can take care on News Direct newspaper. Do well to pick a copy to read the details of other stories there on the paper. Next, we go to the Daily Times newspaper. And on the Daily Times newspaper, we start from the top part of that paper. It says, fuel scarcity will be over next week. NEC assures fuel scarcity will be over next week. That's the National Executive Committee assuring Nigerians that the fuel scarcity will be over by next week. Other headlines here on the Daily Times newspaper. The headliner here says, attackers of policemen, ethnic minorities won't go unpunished. Attackers of policemen, ethnic minorities won't go unpunished. Buhari. And then lastly, at the bottom part of the Daily Times newspaper, we see federal government's engagement with Twitter has been fruitful. Lai Mohammed speaking there. Okay, now we take on the Punch newspaper here, and the headliner says, federal government, PDP clash as economy grows by 3.4%, highest in 7 years. This is the voodoo economics of Buhari. When you talk of economic growth, it must have a direct impact on the lives of the people. That's PDP saying there. And then, of course, APC has a response to that statement. It says, where we have an opposition that doesn't want to hear anything good about the country and this administration. Lai Mohammed, of course, responding to PDP's criticism. Other headlines here on the Punch newspaper, we see this one, cash transfer. Some Nigerians haven't seen 5,000 naira before, says minister. Cash transfer. Some Nigerians haven't seen 5,000 naira before, says minister. Other headlines here on the Punch newspaper, we see NNPC shifts dirty fuel importation probe to National Assembly. Well, that's all the headlines we can take this morning. Next on the program is our discussion segment where we get to analyze some of these headlines we've read out this morning. Please stay with us, but do well to also participate by dropping your comments and any reactions on any of the comment section of our social media handles. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course here on YouTube. So do well to drop your comments and a reaction. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're still live here on the newspaper review here on Thav TV. And I've been joined by Mr. Victor Sioku, our regular commentator here in the studio. Thank you very much for joining us again.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's begin our conversation this morning with this first positive news in a very long time. All the while we've been here reviewing newspaper headlines, all we've gotten is a lot of insecurity, a lot of so many negative news. And here we have the first time in a long time that our economy has grown. And let me take the headline as it is on the Punch newspaper. It says, federal government, PDP clash as economy grows by 3.4%. Highest in 7 years. All right, highest in 7 years. I don't know if we should see this report as a positive one or a slight on this administration. In 7 years, just a year to go, that's when the economy has been able to grow by 3.4%. What's your take in all of this?
My take is that the economy has not grown. It has not grown in the sense that in 2020, COVID was around, okay, and it affected entirely almost everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Everything in the world, yeah. Okay, and it cuts through every country of the world.
Yeah.
Now, if you say we've made 3.4% increment as in our GDP,
yeah.
What happened in 2020? We are trying to recover from 2020, not 2015 when they came in. Okay? So, and when you now check from that 2020 till now, oil sector, the price of oil has gone up.
It does, yeah.
So you find out that it's the normal thing that should happen. Okay, you now ask the question, what about the non-oil sector?
Yeah.
What has happened there? Nothing. What about jobs? Nothing. So you find out that the loud noise that they are making out of this,
it's not necessary.
Totally unnecessary.
Yes, and that's what PDP is even saying to them, that, I mean, if you say the economy has grown, how has it impacted the life of the common Nigerian? It hasn't really changed anything. In fact, the cries of Nigerians has even worsened recently. I mean, look at what we've been dealing with for the past 3 weeks or so, the fuel crisis and all of that. How has the economy affected Nigerians positively? That hasn't happened, doesn't change anything. So, in fact, you should keep quiet about it. We shouldn't hear it. But even though it's a positive one, that like the response of Lai Mohammed telling the PDP or telling the rest of Nigerians that, oh, if we don't want to speak good about this administration, something good has happened, we should celebrate our wins. But brother, it should affect the lives of Nigerians. That's when we can say, okay, yeah, something has really happened. Let's take on other headlines here. Okay, let's look at this one. It says 365 days 365 days to presidential election. The aspirants are emerging. It's a very, very interesting headline that we need to look into. Yes, it's already 1 year to the presidential election, a critical place in Nigeria. Yes. A critical and very important place for Nigerians, because it will determine what the next things or the new things that will happen in this country, whether we're going to fail or we're going to move forward. Yes. 365 days to it. What's your reaction to all of that?
So far we have number one on the ladder that has declared. Many guys are yet to declare.
We have a few of them here.
Tinubu is the number one person. He has the crowd. He has the money. And we now have
Pius Ayim.
Yes. Pius Ayim. Well, I'm not here to reduce anybody, but Pius Ayim is there. Tinubu, like I mentioned, Okorocha is there.
But he's not on this day list. But Okorocha, has also declared.
Okorocha is there.
We see Ovation publisher, that's Dele Momodu, is also there. We see Governor
Omahi Mohalu.
Yes, Mohalu is also there.
Ohabunwa.
Yes.
Now I begin to question. You know, Nigeria politics is about money, and coming from the presidency part of it. Oh man, I'm quite pessimistic that if you don't have money, I beg, don't come waste your money for this matter. Because it's about the money.
It's not about what you even have up there or what you have to offer. Yes. It's about money.
That you are a technocrat, who cares? Nigerian
And
politicians don't care. The parties don't care. Bring out that money. Let's go win this election.
They don't care. Even the voters, in as much as they want a good aspirant, they want somebody that could change the tides of the country. But they are also susceptible to the offers they get.
Yes.
You know,
you must throw out cash during the election. Right now, it's not a culture. You must bring that the money. If you don't bring that money, people will not vote for you. Because they'll be like, oh, okay, after this election, we'll not see you again. So this one we are seeing now, bring that money, bring the money, let's collect it right now.
Yes, that's the game.
So you have to pull out the cash.
That's the game.
That's why, man, I don't want to mention, but man, if you don't have money like Tinubu, on that card, on that level of Tinubu, Atiku, I beg.
So the game here is about money and influence.
Yes.
And so all of these aspirants, these technocrats that we see that are coming up, people like Mogalo, these are people that, yes, we know that can change the tides of this country. But they don't seem to stand a chance because of the way the political scene here runs. And it's a pity. I wish all of this would change in 2023 and let's see something different. Because to be frank, most Nigerians want to have a different experience. Yes. They want to have a different experience. Yes. But most of the people that are coming are the same people that we've been having over the last 20 years.
Yes.
We want to have a different experience, but are we going to allow it?
So, people like Atiku, Tinubu, or this guy come out, Nyesom Wike.
Oh, yeah.
Amechi.
So Amechi is also in the...
the news is
he hasn't declared.
Even CBN governor.
Yes, Amepele is here. He's yet to declare.
The vice president, Yemi Osibanjo. We are waiting for them to. We are waiting for them to come out to say they are in for the race. But you also ask, okay, these ones, the persons that have come out so far, what are they bringing to the table?
Yeah.
Tinubu will tell you, okay, Nigeria needs experience. So he's bringing experience to the table.
Oh, indeed.
Okay, that's one. Okorocha, that Nigeria needs a tribalized leader. because he has shown that
He's
he's got
he's
love for
Hausa.
Hausas, Igbos, and everybody. He's more like the one Nigeria guy.
Oh yeah.
And him,
Mm-hmm.
that the power should come to the south, just like Umahi.
Yes.
That the south
They should take over power.
They should take over. Moalu, oh, I'm an economist.
Yes.
A former deputy chairman of CPN.
Yes, I'm going to change everything. Yes.
Yes. So that he's coming with his smart ideas as a technocrat, as an economist.
Yes.
Fine. The Ohabunwa, the pharmacist.
Yes.
It's going to be shocking to you. Where is he going to raise the funds? Now they'll be like, tomorrow you will see him in, a mushroom party.
Yeah.
The mushroom party, where are their structures? Do they have offices, not just physical offices? But they have people in the grassroots to run the election for them?
Yeah.
You can't just win elections like that.
It doesn't happen like that.
There must be structures.
Not in a place like Nigeria. It doesn't win elections.
So that's why everything has been trimmed down to PDP or APC.
But we've also seen in the past where these mushroom parties somehow, merge with some of the big parties to, form an alliance.
An alliance.
Yeah. So we cannot outplay that. That can
okay,
also
where is the
happen.
mushroom party now that wants to form alliance?
Okay,
you mean? Okay, let's
they can merge up to 3 or 4. And then before you know, there's a new party.
Now, this is just 1 year.
It's 1 year.
How are they going to have those structures? The grassroots campaign.
Because time, they've run out of time.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because the bigger parties are already well organized. Forget what you see.
And they have the monies.
They have the money. Forget what you see in the APC where it looks like their house is not together. I'm so sure that they know exactly what they're doing. And with time, you will see that, oh, yes, they are back in line and they are on the race. So
I'm scared for APC. It's 1 week, or nearly 1 week to the
convention.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't look like they are ready.
No concrete arrangement. They are running up and down to the Aso Rock. Even without the president not being there, they still go there. Just
well, we are watching.
They are surprising me. Well, at first I thought they were in order. Now it's 1 week.
1 week to the time, to the declared time. I won't be surprised if we hear a postponement. I won't be surprised to hear that. So we're all fingers crossed and watching them and hoping that, well, they put their house together. But if they don't, Nigeria will still move on as a country. And that's one thing I know. Well, that's all we can take today on the discussion segment. Thank you very much, Mr. Victor, for joining me. Good to have you every time. All right, for our viewers, thank you for staying with us. Do well to also participate in this program by dropping your comments and your reactions on the comment section on any of our social media handles. We'll be glad to hear from you. Till next time when we come onto your screens again, my name is William Sabule and it's been nice having you. Stay tuned next time.